Evening. All right, no tanking today. This is back to the scout suit, and what we're going to look at really is gunning. But before we do that, let me share with you a little trick that I do. Basically, I keep saying it. I know I keep saying it. Keep trolling me. It's fine. It's not going to make me cut myself and hurt myself. Anyway, effectively, there you go. What we're doing here with the scout suit is running straight towards where the enemy are coming from. This is something I really am amazed not more people do, because there is always this kind of assumption in maps like this that teams will meet in the middle because everybody runs. That's kind of what they're doing. And what I've been doing is actually just running straight for the enemy. So you can see I've already got to point E, and I'm already scanning them out and shooting them. This works really well because the reality is, you can, I mean, I'll share another video maybe later on where I actually ran with my scout suit all the way across the map to C. Basically, there's a 4-point capture, D and C, and the whole team of about 8 went to capture or get some, collective points on point C as soon as the match started, assuming that nobody could have even got there, and I flay locked them all. It was epic, and I will dig that footage out and do a video of it. But this is a great example of running. So here we go. We've just killed 2 snipers, and I stupidly jump off, but managed to kill 2 snipers because they assumed that nobody would be right next to them at this point. So highly recommend this. I know it's an obvious one. We may do a tactics video of this another time, but in essence, it's a really good, cheeky kind of way to get some easy kills. Too many people just focus on getting the wall points for the capture. They don't really assume that somebody would bypass a capture point to get right at them, and that's effectively what we did. So today we are looking at dropship gunning. Evo's in his Logi dropship, and White Mortadella's on the other gun, and I'm jumping on the other gun here. Still using the dropship as a kind of conveyance. This is because obviously that's what it's designed to do, and it does it quite well. But really, I think the gunning on dropships is pretty good now, and you'll hopefully see that once I get back in. I'm still kind of in this this frenzied state with the game at the moment, where I've really got into tanking so much I actually can't remember how to play the skill suit anymore. I must just have one of those brains that's not very effective, because I mean, that was funny, by the way, that guy. The flaylock is back. It's not, by the way, it's terrible, but in essence, I think the amusing thing about the game is when you play a particular style for a long time, you become very good at it, and familiarity breeds obviously skill, I guess. And by having the tank as my main run for quite a while now, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks in fact, I have completely forgotten how to run the scout suit. So this footage was from before. I played the scout suit last night and I was awful at it, so not great. Anyway, let's do some gunning. Gunning to me is something that was, when it first came out, when the first game was pretty much out, dropships and gunners were redonkulous. They were amazingly good and effective. Then they got nerfed to buggery. Now I would say they're probably back to the middle ground of being, pretty okay. And hopefully you can see that, using pretty standard turrets, certainly not militia, but not obviously prototype, but using these turrets, it's amazing how effective these things are, and they're quite accurate as well. There used to be this thing where the accuracy of the dropship was just brilliant, then awful. Now it's not bad. So think of it almost as a scale. It was literally the word of God, then it became ha ha ha, what a waste of time, and now it's somewhere in the middle as a pretty decent thing. I would recommend people use dropships more, because I think they're just something that I think really do swing about. As you can see here, they have no idea where we are. They're not even trying to engage us. It just takes one forge gunner to deal with us, I agree. But at the end of the day, that's not always going to happen. And most of the time, most people run militia weak forge guns, which I would say things like a decently fit Logi dropship will probably tank. Or at least be able to evade. I think in terms of also the way that the gunners work as well, they're a lot more accurate than they used to be, but not impossibly brilliant. Do you know what I mean? They're not absolutely accurate to the point where you can just kill anything. So there is still a fair bit of skill required. I think there's a fair bit of luck as well, and I think that's always a good combo with any gun or vehicle in the game, is that there has to be this kind of middle ground of skill, but also a little bit of luck does help. So I think it's a funny one. I think a lot of the time I've always dismissed dropships, and I've actually started flying them again. Not very well, I must admit, because it does feel impossible to run the dropship with a mouse and keyboard. But I would say, as a DS3, they're not too bad. I think they're possible to be done. But it's always I think a funny one because they, I think mouse and keyboard is a bit overpowered. I do agree with that. And I think it's a difficult one to kind of have mouse and keyboard in the game. And I think they only did it because they knew so many PC players would probably come and play the game. So, I'm kind of ambivalent to the whole PS3 thing. Having played GTA for quite a while now, I would say that I've got very much used to the controller once more. Anyway, so as you can see, just again, some obvious ones. Obviously, having an order on the dropship with people in it gunning means that you're milking a huge amount of war points, and that means faster orbitals and all that good stuff. Look at that guy, he didn't even see where I was. That's funny as balls. Basically, I think this is the beauty of dropship gunning, is that sometimes you will have one of these magic rounds where pretty much people just don't know where the hell you are, and you can just milk the kills. Look at the kill feed on the right. Basically, just every other one is me or white basically killing something with this dropship. Now, the thing is, the dropship pilot is benefiting massively from this as well. They're getting a phenomenal amount of war points because obviously we are getting them vehicle assist kills, which are pretty decent. So also just the fact that they're strategically good, like this guy trying to sneak Hank D. Look how close. We basically almost shoved the gun right up his bottom, basically, to kill him that time. And that just shows you how wicked dropships really can be. And I mean wicked as an evil. But there we go. So obviously then that spawned a number of orbitals. We actually got 3 in this round, would you believe, which is a pretty good. That shows that some good going there. But again, always remember, once you've dropped the orbital, jump back in the dropship, because then everybody gets the shared war points, as you can see. So yeah, just good simple stuff really, but amazingly effective. Again, I know I don't do a lot of this. I've not really. I don't think I've ever done a video on orders. I would say orders are absolutely critical. Oh, here we go. So we're being shot by a forge gun now. And as you can see, somebody's got a real kind of vengeance to kill us. So that pretty much puts me back on the ground. But White and Evo carry on killing and shooting and stuff. But this puts me back on the ground. And lo and behold, just as I get on the ground, I get another orbital. So here we go. Now, the thing I would say also is an interesting one is don't fire orbitals too soon. And I'm just going to do a very cheap pun here. Don't drop your load too early. Always make sure that when you drop trowel from orbit that you're doing it onto a target which has at least 3 people. I think any less than 3 is, well, you're kind of asking for trouble. I think I got 1 there, so I suck. But again, great example of kind of just using good orders, getting good collection of points. I think is a good little tactic to do. I'm enjoying the Scout. I think one of the things I would say about this this game is that it's really starting to come together in terms of how it feels from a kind of weaponry point of view. I know that we're always going to have people who want their gun buffed. This is an annoying, kind of fallout from Eve, where people just stick with one race or one ship or whatever, and they just constantly petition for it to be buffed. And it gets very annoying because, to be honest with you, adapt. You need to move around, try different stuff. The scout suit got nerfed quite a bit last patch, but hey, it's still effective. I'm still using it. I die a lot more, but hey, I still have the same amount of fun. So it's very difficult to kind of sit there and say, oh well, this, that. I think a lot of the time you would be better off just finding different fits. Have a range of fits. I think too many people, they want their prototype, Caldari Logi and their AR, and that's it. That's all they'll run. And they run that pretty much exclusively over and over and over. And I think that's a shame because, to be honest, it's a good thing for us because that's most likely means they're going to get bored and leave the game, which is probably not a bad thing. But it also means that obviously, they're pretty much just pub stomping all the time. Those are the problems, and I think a lot of the time this is why we switch to tanks and so on. Anyway, good score for me there, 25 and was it 1 or 2? Oh, I died twice, so I suck. But a great round all round, and I think hopefully a typical example of how you can switch things up a little bit more. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. I think a lot of the time we're trying to always show you different things to try. I think if you've never done dropship gunning, give it a go. Even if you're using militia stuff, it doesn't matter. You know, the cost of losing this stuff is very minor. So you can run 5 or 6 rounds of an ambush, and that'll give you easily 10 probably dropships that you could just piss up the wall. And I'll tell you what, you'll have fun doing it. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.